You are now listening to It's the Social Media by the Plus Money.
Hey, Alisha, hey!
Hey, girl, hey.
All right, so welcome back, guys. Thank you guys for joining me after our short, okay, maybe not short, but very long break on a new episode of It's Just Social Media, your podcast for those of you who feel like voting is a waste of time, but you complain every day about today's administration.
That's right.
Talking to you. Talking to you. All right. So today, our first guest with our first show back is a very special guest, very good friend of the show. It is Alisha. Hey, Alisha. Hey. Alisha Leben or Alisha. Hey, Alisha. Hey, or Alisha Leben.
Hey, Alisha.
Hey, Alisha. Boom. I'm cool with both. I'm fine with that. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing well. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me on. During these times, I'm excited to see your podcast growing. And can't believe that you are doing all that you're doing. It's very exciting. Doing a lot, but I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for being on. All right. So, first things first, for those of you, well, obviously, if you can't tell by now, I always bring my friends on the show. I am good friends with Miss Alisha here. We've been friends since FIU days. Jeez, we've known each other since we were teenagers.
I think I met you when I just turned 18.
What? Oh yeah, it's true.
Oh no, I think I was like just 18. Yeah.
Yeah. We were peer advisors together. Orientation leaders. Pause. And it was
Pause. And I still have my little pause whistle, by the way. I found it the other day cleaning out the den in our house, and I was like, oh my gosh, my PA train. I was like, wow, there's that. Yeah.
I have my cape. I have my jersey.
Oh God. I don't know where my jersey. I think I gave my jersey to someone, or like I don't know. I have no idea where any of that is.
I have the jersey. I used to put the jersey on my wall. It was like a decoration in my room, and I had it in my wall. And then when I got married, I had it in the house, and I would wear it sometimes. I'm legit like a hoarder, so it's a thing. So let's start with first, I want to talk about heyalishahay.com and just the behemoth that it is now. Talk about it, how you got started, where we are now, all of that good stuff. Let me know.
Sure. Well, thank you again. So it's heyalisha.com, and I've actually had Hey Alisha for about 6 years now. So I started, it's been 6 years. I started in 2014. I used to travel a lot for work at the time, my corporate job. And I used to travel a lot for work all over the US. And I was seeing a lot of places I'd never seen before. I mean, I went to Milwaukee and, Seattle and Portland and, all over the place. And I just really wanted to document all of my travel experiences. So that's how it got started, with me talking about travel and sharing pictures and things to do, places to eat. And it then transitioned into a blog about pop culture. I'm a big pop culture person. I love a good Real Housewives episode. I know so many people don't like it, but I'm like shameless Bravo junkie. I watch all things Bravo. It's just my jam.
Wait, so you watch Married to Medicine?
Is water wet? Like, hello, that's my jam. I actually haven't watched the West Coast Girls yet. I have it on my DVR to watch, but the girls in Atlanta, like Dr. Jackie, Quad, like, I mean, hello, I live. I
love
live.
them. Okay, so we gotta talk. Okay,
we gotta chat. So so I kind of got into blogging about just pop culture and what was going on, which is fun, I think, to talk about to me personally, with your friends and, like, oh my God, like, did you see that episode of this show? And did you see what Nene did or whatever? But to write about it, I was like, what am I doing here? Like, this is not I am getting nothing out of this. This is not sparking joy. Like there's
Yeah.
absolutely no point in me doing this. So I kind of transitioned it into lifestyle and into, just talking about love and relationships and growth as a person and inspiration and motivation. And I kind of just said, I'm going to cultivate a space where people can really learn and learn about other experiences of other people, sorry, and to share their experiences. I will share my personal experiences on things that hopefully will all help us to grow as people, and spark joy and a laugh and throw some sass in there because that's who I am as a person.
Okay.
And yes, and that's kind of how Hey Leisha, the evolution of it. And it's evolved even with influencing, and
Mm-hmm.
my influencing has evolved, simultaneously, while my blog has evolved as well. So that's how that's kind of come to where it is right now. So
And now you
yeah,
guys have products.
yeah, I do. I do. I have,
You're
yeah, products and things. Yeah, yeah.
I remember the conversation. The first conversation about this blog. I remember vividly. You were like, "So, I'm going to start a blog." Yeah, and I was
Mhm.
like, "Okay." And at the time, it's one of those things that you did when everyone else had started blogs, and it was one of those things where it felt like it was saturated, right? And I know you felt the same way, but you just felt like this is something you should do. And to watch you, because what I've learned from you through you is why I started what I started. Because I started Plush Bride because of you. And then now it's evolved into Plush Mommy, which is now whatever this is.
Thanks.
And so I'm watching the evolution, and I realized through this evolution, and you're a really good case study in when I talk about that to clients, is that it took you about 6 years to get here. And that's just because of consistent dedication. So, what did you do to stay motivated from then
Sure.
to now?
Sure. So, I think with blogging and just anything you do in life, if you start a business or whatever it may be, you go through kind of hills and valleys,
Mm.
and there are times where you have to pivot. I've pivoted multiple times with my business, which includes my blogs and apparel and things like that. So, I think for me, when I'm not, again, I think I'm a pretty positive person. And I've always been cheery and happy and great, yay. And, it's just kind of my personality. And I find that when something is not making me happy, or something isn't, again, like I know it seems cliche with Marie Kondo, but like sparking joy. Like if something isn't really making me happy, I don't want to do it. It like, it's a drag for me to do something. So for me, I've realized that my purpose, I feel, or just my calling, is to truly share experiences and to maximize, you know, other people's strengths around me, and and to connect people, with different
Right.
life lessons and whatnot. So for me, I find that as long as I'm doing that, and whether it be with writing or it's stuff I'm, promoting on Instagram or products that I'm doing, as long as I'm doing that, it motivates me to want to keep going. So recently I started, actually I called myself the chit chat connoisseur for years. It's actually my website was Hey Alisha Chit Chat Connoisseur for a long time, and I started a podcast like about a year ago, and a lot of the episodes have really been about just life experiences. And I find that hey, it's something that I'm interested in. It might be something that someone else is, and you find that you connect people with others that they may not have heard about before. They may not have known there was a divorce mediation specialist that they can reach out to, or there was someone who is abortion support coach. Like there's so many things that you didn't even know that was out there. But I just want to be able to amplify voices of especially women, and as long as I'm doing that, that's what motivates me to keep going, because I know that that's my calling, I feel.
With what's going on now in this pandemic, because the biggest thing that when I talk to creators, the biggest issue and the biggest hurdle has been staying motivated through a pandemic. Because even for myself, even though we're home and we're doing nothing technically, something about being home, even though I think you've already worked from home to begin with, and so
Mhm.
did I, but something about being here
being bored in the house bored.
Hey,
Okay.
being born in the house, being in the house bored, like you just like, nah, I don't feel like filming.
Trash. It's
I don't
trash.
want to film anymore. I don't want to do that. No.
Yeah.
I don't. What did you do? Because I honestly, I haven't been as consistent as I was when I had something to do. you know, what did you do? Like, please help me know.
Help me help you. So I've definitely gone through that myself. I've certainly had times during the corona where I have been like, I just want to lay here. Like I just want to watch Netflix because the world is a dumpster fire and it's just I have no motivation in this moment right now to do anything. So I understand that. I also tell people, and I tell myself this, is to take it day by day and moment by moment. So if you feel that you have one quick moment where you feel like I can write something, or I can create some sort of content, or I can write a funny post, or take that moment, do it in that moment until you're done, if that makes sense, until you're done, and then just revisit it again and just keep doing that until it's finished. I find for me that helps a lot. Is just like attacking it little by little instead of trying to force myself to do something, because then it seems like a task. And then it seems like
And it doesn't spark joy.
and it doesn't spark joy. So that's kind of how I've been doing it. And some of my friends, we've all, gone through this just crazy, unprecedented time that we never saw coming ever. I don't think any of us did. So that's what helps me the most.
So with somebody like with what's going on today, because I know right now a lot of your content, from what I can see, has been a lot about voting, has been a lot about getting people motivated to vote, has been a lot about nasty women vote, child, has been a lot about making sure that people are educated about the candidates and about this very incredibly important election. With you are far from being afraid to express your opinion.
Ciao.
um
I'm the opposite.
you are the key. You I I work in social media, and I am not as unapologetic as I think I am until I see you. Like, when I see you, I know I'm not unapologetic. And I swear I envy you. I swear I do. Because you are right up in these people's face, and you're like, by the way, let's talk about Trump today. I have some things to say. And you will lay it out, and you will lay it all out, and you don't care what the people say. How do you deal with, because I know you've had a lot of it, there's no way, how do you deal with the negative feedback that comes with that, like authenticity?
So it's two parts. So the first thing is, I do think that it is important if you have any sort of platform, and it doesn't mean having, a million followers on Instagram, or, like a million followers on Twitter, or whatever it may be. But I think it's important if you have any sort of social media influence, even if it's just with friends or family, that you're utilizing it in the best way possible, and that you're being responsible with it. So that's the first thing. And I, on a personal level, am very inspired by social causes and equality for all people. I think you probably know this about me as long as you've known me. I mean, I'm
Oh, of
very
course.
big on, racial
Yeah.
equality, gender equality, rights for our LGBTQ family. Like I just
Right.
and that's just me and who I am. So I figured I would channel it. And I actually did struggle a lot with it in the beginning, being so vocal. I actually only recently, in terms of Hey Alicia, that platform where, in terms of my website and, social media pages, just started really talking about politics, because I actually, in the last however many years, I never really, even during the primaries, like I just never really said anything. I've certainly encouraged people to vote, and I posted things about voting, but in terms of like straight up, like this is what's going on, I just now recently started doing it because I felt like, why am I holding back? It's not, it's, you have to kind of have courage, and sometimes you're going to say the things that other people maybe need to hear to motivate them to vote, or you're going to share credible information about a cause that is going to affect someone, Affordable Care Act. And maybe someone didn't realize that with everything going on, that's on the line right now. And you share something about that and a fact about what's going on with the Supreme Court and all that stuff. And maybe that person has Obamacare and they, had no idea that this was going on and that they can lose their health insurance. So it's going to motivate them to vote. Or, women's reproductive rights. That is incredibly important to a lot of people for many reasons. So that's why I started saying, you know what, Alisha, I said, self, just go out there. Self said, hey. And I said, just, step out and just be courageous. And I've certainly gotten feedback from folks that, throughout the years that we've known, whether it be school or past colleagues that are, think, support the opposite of what I support and just don't see what I see. And I'm okay with having a difference of opinion. But I think, as you stated before, that this election is the most important election of our lifetime. I think the last election was the most consequential, quite frankly, because that's why we are here where we are right now. But I think that this election right now is so incredibly important, and so much is on the line when it comes to race and when it comes to, women's rights and the rights of the, LGBTQ community and just our Muslim brothers and sisters. Like, there's just so humanity, really, and like decency on the line. Exactly. So I just think it's really important to, when I get that feedback, I'm kind of just like, okay, thank you. Next. Like, I kind of just don't let it bother me anymore, because I feel like I'm on the right side of history.
That's
just how I feel.
But you said a mouthful, because that's a big thing I tell people when it comes to social media, especially. This is your platform to say whatever you want. And although there's a lot of negatives that come with being very vocal about where you stand, it's still okay, because in your heart that what you're saying is what you believe in. And for as long as you believe in what you're saying, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks, because you genuinely believe this. And the beauty of this country and reasons why we vote is the fact that we can say what we want, when we want, how we want, wherever we want. And if we want. And
it's a free country.
Exactly. And so I think you said that exactly. You're on the right side of history, so bump you. I don't care.
Yeah.
I do think it's important to, again, everybody has their own opinion and everybody has their own train of thought and their own experiences that may shape how they feel about certain things today. But for me, actually, I take it back a little bit, if you don't mind. So for me, I'm thinking back to why I started posting as much as I did. And it actually just wasn't the election. It was actually Black Lives Matter is when I started posting. Because I was thinking back, I'm like, wait a second. Again, I've always posted about voting, but it was Black Lives Matter is what made me go, you know what? Like, I'm not doing this safe thing where I'm like, yes, I'm a Black girl, in South Florida. No, I'm going to be like, I'm Black. Hello. Did you know I was Black? Like, did you know Black people are great and that our lives matter? And I think that's when I
shouted from the mountaintops.
Shouted from the mountaintops. And that's when I, did my first podcast on my podcast was about that. And I always have guests, but that one was just me, quite frankly, ranting about everything that was going on.
Absolutely.
And I was just like, I got to say what I got to say. And I hope people will hear this and channel this into something positive and use their voice to create some sort of change. So that's really what sparked it for me. And then obviously the election and everything that's going on ever since.
I think you're doing exactly what's supposed to be done with your platform, because oftentimes people use their platform. I mean, and I'm not even going to criticize it, just because I know for me, my platform is not as, about that. And on any of my platforms, really, I haven't dedicated any of that to it. I'll just tell people to go vote. And then if you don't go vote, that's your business, right? But I believe that that's exactly what social media is for. I've always felt that way from the moment it started. Like, this is a much more powerful tool than people realize, because it can sway whole groups of people to do something, and you have access to them faster than a TV network, which means you have now a chance to change the minds of many. So I really think where you're coming from makes sense. When it comes to the evolution of Hey Alisha, how do you think social media has affected that? Because blogging is sort of social media, but then how does social media affect your your message and your blogging and just your whole overall online presence in general?
Sure. So I actually, it's funny, when I first started blogging on Hey Alicia, and again, with it being originally like a travel blog and then, pop culture, I actually didn't spend a lot of time on my social media and just kind of like cultivating that, my aesthetic, if you will, and kind of my presence on social media. So I had all my accounts set up and I would post things here and there, but I just never really paid attention to it. And it wasn't until probably the last like 2 or 3 years, probably last like 2.5 years, that I was like, wait a second, like I have this platform here. I have a following, and I really should, it's like, have that synergy. Like if I post something, I want people to be able to go on my website and see what it is that I'm writing about. And then if I'm writing on my website, I want people to be able to follow me on social media, because sometimes it's two different things, right? So Instagram, as an example, and as you know, Instagram is a quick graphic. It's a graphic that you post. It's going to grab the attention of someone visually, and then that can, lead them to a call of action, whether it's to go on the link on my bio or just read the caption that is about something. And that was kind of what I thought was I was lacking.
Yeah.
So I started to do call to actions on, like on both pages, so everyone can kind of connect on everything. So
Okay.
that's how it's evolved for me.
So with the linking of the pages, when you did the call to actions, because that's actually a really key point. When you did the call to actions, how did you find out that you needed that? Was it through the analytics or was it just through your just general?
Through analytics, and also just
Okay.
me recognizing that you're getting followers, and it's through, pictures that you post will create a following, or me just, you know, on my story, and so, oh, let me follow this girl. But then I'm like, I'm not seeing that return on my investment on
Right.
my page, on my blog, and I'm not seeing subscribers. So what I started doing was every person, like, and it's a lot, because I have, I think, almost 5,000 followers now. I'm waiting until I hit the 5K, and it's like, yay, because it's all organic. So what was happening was, so now every single person that follows me on Hey Alicia and on Chit Chat Connoisseur, I send them a DM, like, with just like, hey, how are you? I'm
Yeah, I got
Alicia.
it.
And, and this is, please subscribe to my website. Here's Chit Chat Connoisseur, my podcast. We're on all these platforms. I'd love to, chat soon. And I've been doing that. And it actually has helped tremendously, because now people are like, oh, okay, like all the information's right there. It's a simple hyperlink. Let me just click it and subscribe.
So
So
from all this time that you spent on social media with the blogging, obviously you're still blogging. With that, what is your favorite like social media platform that you find is the most fruitful and also the most fun?
okay, so it's two different. There's actually two different ones. So I have Facebook, and Facebook is good to connect with people, because I do think there's a certain um genre of folks that like Facebook, so that's how I'm able to connect with them. So that works with Facebook.
Right.
I do love Instagram, because I am a very visual person, and I love pictures. And I love just seeing like a graphic, content, someone's, content that they made, like a post, even if it's just writing. I just really like that type of thing. So I like Instagram a lot, but my favorite app of all time is Twitter. I
Lit.
love Twitter. I've been using Twitter since '09, like throwback, like
Yeah,
getting thrown in
I
Twitter jail
remember.
during like MTV, VMAs, getting thrown in Twitter jail because I was tweeting too much, because,
Me and you used to go in on them things, boy.
We used to go in on
When
Twitter.
Taylor Swift got interrupted by Kanye West,
Oh my god.
ah! We were like, "What is a Taylor Swift?"
That was a time.
I've actually always really loved Twitter, but quite frankly, Twitter for me, I've certainly gained a little bit of a following on Twitter. I wasn't as active on it in terms of Hey Alicia for a while, like actively, like intentionally following people that were, like-minded, or other Black, female bloggers, which is a huge community, which is amazing, or, plus size influencers, and just, creative content, producers and all. I mean, the amount of people on Twitter that are involved in so many things with social media is really inspiring. So I love it for that. It's where I get my news and most of my updates. And Twitter is fun. You can follow some really hysterical people on there. But like I said, Instagram is also great for just like visual content, which I do really love as well.
With so we're gonna my final question is for the last for you've already won South Florida Blogger Awards. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So with all of the achievements that Hey Alicia has gotten, where do you see Hey Alicia moving to 5 years from now?
Sure. So that's a great question. I think that I see myself as a continuing as being a lifestyle influencer and blogger of choice for South Florida and beyond. I think also too I was pigeonholing myself a little bit with just, South Florida and talking about things going on in Miami and in Broward, and I realized that there's a whole other world out there that I don't need to just be so narrow minded. So I do see myself as being, a lifestyle influencer and blogger of choice. I also want to create again a bigger platform for people, but particularly women, to come together and share their experiences and share their journeys and talk about their businesses and just be that curator of just all the awesome success of all these women around me that are doing so many amazing things and are in such like niche little, like industries, and just really promote that and amplify that and kind of just be like a connector, if you will, and just kind of
Yeah.
maximize everyone around me. So that's where I see myself. I see my podcast doing really great so far. It's been doing really well. And I hope that one day to have an online talk show is actually really my intention. I've always wanted. Oprah is like my hero of like all time. Like I love Oprah.
Absolutely.
That's Auntie O. I love her.
Yeah.
I want to meet her. So for me, I've always, even in college, like I've always wanted to do an online talk show or a talk show in general. And I would say, oh, I'd love to be like a news anchor and all that kind of stuff. So I think eventually I would love to have my own online talk show. And hopefully once COVID passes, I can have people like in a studio and,
Yeah.
have those types of conversations. So
I mean, I see it happening for you, child, because you moving and shaking. So
I'm saying?
shoot, out here in these streets, child, you be out here, what I'm saying.
Listen.
Well, ma'am, this has been awesome. Thank you very much for coming on the show. I know it's tough to get you down, but we got you to get you pinned down. But you got pinned down. But it is honestly a pleasure, and I'm really honored that you were able to make time for me. I'm really happy that you're on my show. Just because,
anytime. It's all good. I know I've been
big time now.
it's been it no, I mean listen, I see some of these girls out here or people, not just girls, but just like, people out here on social media. And I'm just like, wow, they're like doing it. Like they can quit their day job. Wow.
First of all, you're doing the thing that I tell people don't do. Don't be comparing yourself. What is you doing?
No, I'm not. I'm happy with where I'm at. But I'm saying that there are people out there that you see and you're like, oh wow, like they've quit their day job because they're clearly making money on these streets just on social media. So I think to me that's admirable too. Me, quite frankly, on a professional level, I love what I do. So I'm okay with doing both, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's my thing. But thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And you're doing great things too. I mean, you have quite a lot going on. You have your social media. You have your clients. I know it's a lot, but I see you posting. It's about consistency, and that's what you're doing. You're being consistent.
Child,
So
I'm tired. I did a TikTok. I joined TikTok.
TikTok's so much fun.
And I love TikTok. And it is honestly the only thing that I can do that requires the least amount of effort. And it's so much fun.
Least amount of effort?
Yes. Every time I have to do a podcast, a YouTube, or any kind of anything with my face, I can do like 4 or 5 TikToks off of one face. It's awesome. I just think that's the best thing because especially for the fashion side of things, for me, it's really hard to put on all the outfits. Yeah, this is a shirt inside I got it from Reptile. So nice. Like it starts to become
talk about it,
and it gets like a YouTube video takes time to record. And then you have to edit things and stuff like that. And because I have clients now and a staff to manage, those things take paramount over, yeah, over what I'm doing, plush mommy. So it's kind of like plush mommy kind of had to sit there. So I got lucky with having self timer on my phone.
I love self timer. Oh my gosh, it is self timer is the jump off. Like you do 3 seconds, 10 seconds, like we're good.
Love
So
it.
yeah, we'll just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, I think you're definitely being really consistent with all of your ventures. So yeah, just keep doing the darn thing, my friend.
You keep doing the darn thing, and again, if for those of you, tell the people where they can go to find their voting locations.
Yes, very important, very important. So election day is November 3rd, but voting is happening right now. Voting is happening right now. I think some people think like, oh, just election day, I'll just wait. God, please do not wait until election day. A lot of people have requested mail-in ballots. A lot of people have already sent them in. They've been counted. I know a lot of my friends have family have just tracked their votes through their county's elections website. So if you've received a mail-in ballot, please send it back. In most states, you have to double check. Every state is different, but in most states, if you don't want to mail it back, I requested one and received it. But me personally, with this election, I said I want to go in that booth and bubble in that little bubble myself. I want to be in the at the poll and do it. So I actually took my mail-in ballot to one of the early voting locations, and I just told them to void it, and they did. And I used that as a sample ballot, and they gave me a brand new ballot, and I went in and voted. So you don't even have to do that. You could just bring it with you. You can leave it at home and just go in and vote. Doesn't matter. Just don't vote twice. But yeah, there's a ton of early voting locations. Most states right now already have early voting going on. Florida certainly has it right now. So please, everyone, just make your voice heard. Even if I went at 5:40 in the morning, the first day of
I saw
early.
that line was long as hell too.
I got there 5:40 in the morning, and there were already 20 something people in line. I was like, what? Like, this don't even make sense. But I was out by 7:30. So yeah, I waited because I wanted to get, first day I wanted to get there. But it's worth it. Some of my friends waited 15, 20 minutes. They're done. Some people in and out at certain places. So just find the spot that works best for you that's close by. Please get your vote in. It's, again, this election is like, I've never seen something like it. It's so important for just the decency of this country. And I think us as Black women, there's so much on the line, and we feel it. I think sometimes I feel like as Black people, Black and brown people, we're like feeling it right now. And it's like we need to make sure that this gets done and we do what we need to do. So go to I have some resources on heyalisha.com on my website. And also check out whenweallvote.org. It's a bipartisan website that has all of your voting resources, information on candidates, anything that you may need per state, per county. It breaks it down. It's all there. So whenweallvote.org, check it out.
.org. I'm going to be putting that in the screen so that everyone can see it, so that we can do it. And also in the description of this podcast, you can go ahead and click that link. But again, Alisha, thank you so much for being on the show. And yes, people, please go and vote. I'm mailing in my ballot, actually. I'm in Broward, child. I had to do it up this way.
I mean, you can drop it off too. That's another option. If someone just wants to go to a drop off location and just drop it off, it gets picked up every day. So.
We were gonna do this whole thing for my mom's birthday because that's on my mom's birthday. Her birthday is voting day, but I was like, I don't want to go.
I know a lot of people are going to wait until the last minute because we're humans, but
I wanted to do the early, but I was like, I'd have to drive to Miami to do it. I was like, I'm not gonna do that, so I'm just gonna do the thing. But I'm voting for sure. Good.
I'm happy to hear. I hope everyone votes and make your voice heard because we gotta make some change.
Oh, hell yeah. All right, so where can the people find you? Tell the people where to find you, please.
Yeah, so you can, again, heyalisha.com. You can check me out there. Hey Alisha Hey on Instagram and Twitter, and also Facebook as well. And I also, again, have a podcast, Chit Chat Connoisseur, that we are on Amazon, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor M. So yeah, all the links are available on my website. Follow me, connect with me. I love to meet new people. You know me, social butterfly. I like to meet new people and learn different things. So connect with me there. I also have an online apparel shop. And I have some quirky, just sassy shirts and just nonsense that comes up in my brain. And I just put it on a t-shirt or a mug. And
it's not nonsense because I have one. It's amazing.
And I appreciate it. Yeah. So I kind of started that this past year, and it's actually been really great and pretty successful. So I'm pretty excited about that. So yeah, check me out. I would love to hear from you and connect with you. And that's all.
Awesome sauce. I'm so excited. All right. So thank you guys. Again, and for those of you listening, thank you for coming back to the show. Please make sure to subscribe to this podcast, and to find me, you can find my personal page, The Plush Mommy, on all platforms, including TikTok. And also, out here on TikTok now, child. Just enjoy the fun. And
follow you.
Yes!
Yes.
All of it is right there. Including this look and outfit is on TikTok already ready.
On TikTok. I'm going to follow you on TikTok. I go on, honestly, I don't really post, but I love the videos on TikTok. They're so much fun.
I enjoy them. In the rabbit hole, I have a whole episode that I have to record next about TikTok because I'm about to talk about it.
Oh, gosh.
But yeah, so we're, please follow me, The Plush Mommy, all platforms. If you are interested in business inquiries about social media marketing, you can find me on brooklyn-social.com, Brooklyn_social on Instagram, and media_Brooklyn on the Twitter machine. I look forward to seeing you all. And again, please always make sure to spread love. Bye.
Peace and love.